Can you enforce mandatory COVID-19 testing? My name is Tanya Sambi and I am with Minken Employment Lawyers. The short answer is, in some circumstances, you can. In order to answer this question, we'll look to the Occupational Health and Safety Act and to arbitration decisions on this topic. The Occupational Health and Safety Act states that an employer shall take every precaution reasonable in the circumstances for the protection of a worker. So this duty may allow an employer to require employees to be tested for COVID-19. We can also look to the recent arbitration decisions on this topic to determine whether an employer can require an employee to be tested for COVID-19. In a recent 2020 decision, an Ontario Labour arbitrator found that a mandatory COVID-19 testing policy at a nursing and retirement home was reasonable in the circumstances, being the protection of the nursing and retirement home residents and the workers. The arbitrator also found that the policy offered accommodation and alternatives to testing. The arbitrator upheld the nursing and retirement home's decision to discipline an employee for their failure to follow the COVID-19 testing policy. So what can we take away from this decision? COVID-19 testing may be allowed in unique circumstances where the health and safety of workers and customers are at stake. So what are the steps to implement a mandatory COVID-19 testing policy? You want to ensure the policy is reasonable, and you want to offer accommodation and alternatives to testing, such as different test options like a throat swab, non-invasive measures such as a temperature check, masking, social distancing, alternate duties, and/or working from home. Some recommendations for implementing mandatory COVID-19 testing is to 1. Have a trained professional conduct the COVID-19 test, 2. Obtain prior written consent from the employee, 3. If asking questions, only seek the necessary medical information from the employee. So don't ask any more questions than you have to. 4. Explain to the employee how medical information will be used and disposed of. For example, what you'll do if there's a positive test result. And 5. Ensure confidentiality of the employee. So tune in next week where we're going to discuss what office policies apply for employees who work from home. Thanks so much for tuning in to Minken Employment Lawyers.